Let's get focused, man. We got a fight to worry about here. Good money, good money.
Us boxers, we've been thinking of the same combinations for a long, long time. To see what are good ways to enter, exit, and land combinations at the same time. At the end of the day, you're dodging punches all day.
And when you have a chance to make it out, it gives you that different look on life. It make you train bigger than just your small town or your hard times that you've been through. It's crazy to me that who would know I'll be that guy. One night,
I know what song you listening to. I know what song he listening to.
Gervonta Davis, my first time watching him. I seen him a video on Instagram, man. I looked up his highlights too. That dude's a beast, man. He's great speed, great defense in those uppercuts, man. I mean, I appreciate boxing. You know, I'm not a hater, man. If I see somebody I think is good, man, I'll talk good about him. You know, some people they just see boxing and they don't appreciate it. They talk bad about him. But me, I see a good fighter and I respect.
Stop scrolling because something is happening around Gervonta "Tank" Davis that has the entire boxing world talking. And no, it isn't just another training clip or another social media rumor. It feels like the beginning of a brand new chapter. For weeks, fans thought they knew exactly how Tank operated.
You're trying to land the best punches. You're trying to make the highest possible decisions in your head. And fights, everything is do or die. When you take the hesitation away, something. You really know, believe in yourself, believe in your skills. I'm not trying to let fear. Basically, that's what it is.
I knew I'd be big, but I never knew that I would be like the guy that actually like break them doors. Calvin believed in me. Calvin believed in me no matter what. That's what was the important piece of me staying focused and I know I have somebody that's counting on me. Calvin was making sure that I was on the right track. And whoever go against me, Calvin was standing beside me. You know what I mean? Calvin was that guy that had my back for sure.
We do.
Same team, same formula, same unstoppable confidence. Then suddenly reports started circulating that he had been working with Jose Benavidez Sr., the respected trainer behind David Benavidez. And just like that, every conversation in boxing changed overnight. Now, before anyone jumps to conclusions, nothing here should be treated as confirmation beyond what's been publicly reported and discussed. But you have to admit,
The last run of the camp, right here with all the guys. You know, I just want to thank Sam.
Yeah, this Santa Cruz out here today.
Let it burn, baby, let it burn.
Mind over matter, son. Mind over matter. Ain't nobody doing no like this. Come in the desert. Trying to stay away from the desert. He come in the desert.
I want to thank Poncho. I want to thank Tristan. I want to thank my father. I want to thank my brother. Thank my wife, my kids, and everybody for giving me the energy I needed. It was a great training camp, and I feel like this is going to be the best fight to date. And then after this, you know, it's just going to be legendary work. But, you know, this camp really meant a lot to me, and I wanted to end this training camp like this. Nice hike to the top.
Coming up here, I was always that kid that know when the time to buckle down and things like that. Like, I know when it's time to get serious. You know, I know how to focus, you know, no matter what's going on around me. That's what made me so special and why I came so far.
when a fighter as successful as Gervonta Davis is linked to a different training setup, people start asking questions immediately. Is this simply adding new ideas to camp? Is it a temporary collaboration? Or is Tank quietly preparing for something much bigger than anyone expected? And that's where things start getting interesting, because while the internet rushed to create dramatic headlines, another voice entered the conversation and completely shifted the narrative.
Like, we're about 12,000 feet right now in the elevation. Finished with my prayers. You know, we had like about 20-minute prayer right here. For me, this run means a lot to me symbolically. You know, I made it to the top. You know, I've made it to the top of the mountain countless times, and with the power, the energy, and the protection from God, I keep making it up, and I keep, you know, passing the threshold. So, you know, I know where I am. I know where God stands in my heart. I know where Jesus Christ stands in my heart, and you know, we're just gonna keep making it to the top, and in His name, we're gonna keep fighting.
Yeah.
That's all I want to know.
I don't think right, bro. I don't think right. You feel me? We gonna hard. That's it. We gotta argue, bro. We gotta argue. You hear me?
Kenny Ellis wasn't throwing punches at anyone. He wasn't fueling controversy. Instead, he calmly reminded everyone that Tank is a grown man who can make his own decisions, and more importantly, he made it sound like the relationship with longtime mentor Calvin Ford was nowhere near as broken.
There you go. Good. There you go.
When he get in that ring, he's on a mission. Because he understands that he got to put his pants on, training wheels going. You got what you asked for. Let's get it now. Slow it down.
30 seconds.
Some online discussions wanted people to believe. Suddenly, the story wasn't about a dramatic split anymore. It became about evolution. And if that's true, then think about what that means. One of boxing's biggest knockout artists may not be replacing everything that made him successful. He could simply be expanding his arsenal. That's a very different story. But wait, because this is where the conversation takes another turn. Jose Benavidez Sr. isn't known for flashy headlines. He's known for discipline, technical adjustments, and building fighters capable of surviving deep waters. So imagine
stating that Tank working with Jose Benavidez.
Yeah, I heard it, I'm not sure if it's true, but if it is, then he's a grown man, got a right to do what he wants, Whatever he decides to do, I told you before, I support him, I know love lost. Been on him since he was 7. Great guy, man.
adding that style to someone who already owns some of the sport's most explosive finishing power. Fans immediately started imagining possibilities. Could Tank return with even sharper defense? More combinations? Better stamina over championship rounds? Nobody knows yet, but the speculation alone has been enough to send boxing discussions into overdrive. Then, just when everyone thought the coaching rumors were the biggest headline, another debate exploded across social media.
Thoughts on Tank versus Devin at 147?
Man, that would be a good fight, but Tank is 135 pounds. Could have happened when Devin was at 35, but he was shot up. You know?
Yeah.
Tank is small. He's not scared. He ain't running. He ain't ducking. He's small in stature.
Devin Haney's camp made it clear that Gervonta Davis remains one of the biggest names they want to face. That's not exactly shocking because whether people love him or criticize him, Tank remains one of the sport's biggest attractions. Beat Tank and your profile skyrockets. Lose to Tank and people still respect the fact that you accepted one of boxing's toughest challenges.
With Floyd Mayweather. And they were asking him, what's his favorite fighters today? Mentioned David Benavidez, Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis, Devin Haney, but didn't mention Tank. Lots of people felt like, is there something in between there that he didn't say Tank? Because he's been promoting Tank for such a long time.
I'm not sure, but Floyd is one of Tank's favorite fighters regardless. Grown man, we don't get into that bullshit, man. If you don't like Tank, this.
That's the kind of influence very few active fighters have today. But here's the twist that makes everything even more fascinating. Every time fans start discussing Shakur Stevenson, Ryan Garcia, Keyshawn Davis, or another elite lightweight, somehow the conversation circles right back to Gervonta Davis. It's almost like Tank has become the center of gravity for the entire division. Every storyline somehow points back toward him. Every fantasy matchup eventually includes his name. Coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe that...
Davis, he sets at probably the number one. I mean, we've been had back and forth. I think that when you talk about him fighting a Jake Paul, if that was realistic, there's no realistic weight that Jake Paul could have ever come down to Devin's walk-around weight. So I consider this as real. Me and Al have had discussions. That's made it even more real. Never has anyone said anything about any dehydration, rehydration, or anything for that matter. So I think that it should be, and what it should be, is a fair fight. You know, and that weight is to be determined, but it won't be anything under 144 pounds.
That's exactly what happens when one fighter becomes the biggest commercial draw in the weight class. Then another opinion entered the chat and instantly divided boxing fans all over again. Adrien Broner didn't hesitate when asked who he believes is the best active fighter in the world. His answer? Tank Davis. But Broner didn't stop there. He hinted that Tank possesses one special quality the rest of boxing's elite simply doesn't have, then refused to fully explain what he meant. Naturally, fans immediately started filling in the blanks themselves. Was he talking about timing, composure, fight IQ?
Yeah, but what type of order do you want to try to pick these guys off? To be realistic, what type of order do you want to pick these guys?
Biggest and the best, the biggest and the best fight I think that everyone, the culture and sports and entertainment would love would be Tank. He's at the top of the list.
Yeah,
I think we got even more excited. Well, I mean, just keep breaking my heart, would you please? Breaking my heart, okay?
That terrifying ability to erase an opponent's hard work with one perfectly timed punch? Everyone had a different answer, and suddenly the debate became even louder than before. Meanwhile, another discussion quietly continued building in the background. Floyd Mayweather's name entered the conversation after an interview where fans noticed Tank wasn't mentioned among some of Floyd's favorite current fighters. Online speculation quickly followed, with countless theories spreading across social media. But Kenny Ellis once again refused to pour fuel on the fire. Instead, he brushed it aside like experienced professionals handling private matters behind closed doors, rather than creating public drama. That response actually told fans something important.
Best fighter in the world right now. It's active. Tank, I agree. I always say that. People argue with me. Why did you say Tank?
I'm gonna try to say this without respect. Yeah. Everything that them boys got, he got. I'm saying that. And I ain't even glazing. I ain't being biased or nothing, bro. Everything them niggas got, he got. But there's one thing them niggas don't got that he got. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Sometimes the loudest stories online aren't the stories the people involved are focused on. Sometimes the internet creates its own championship fight before anyone has even signed a contract. But here's where things become even more unpredictable. Imagine stepping into the ring expecting the same version of Tank Davis everyone has studied for years, only to discover subtle changes everywhere. Different footwork, different defensive reactions, more patience, more variety. Suddenly, every scouting report looks outdated. That's exactly why even the possibility of a new voice during training has captured so much attention. Elite athletes aren't chasing change for headlines. They're chasing...
They saying why Benavidez. Tank and Calvin talk, man. Tank will come and... Tank and Calvin got a relationship. He'll come to Calvin and say, this is what it is. You know what I mean? So all that stuff on the internet, I don't pay no mind. I don't pay no mind. And somebody will see this and come back and say exactly what I said. But they talk. They got a relationship, man. They got a relationship. So I can't answer that. When Tank comes talk to Cal.
Tiny improvements that could become massive advantages on fight night. And if that's really what's happening here, then opponents may have a much bigger puzzle waiting for them than they expected. Still, none of this guarantees anything. New partnerships don't automatically create victories, and boxing history is filled with examples of coaching changes producing mixed results. That's why the pressure has quietly increased. Fans won't just watch Tank's next fight, they'll analyze every jab, every defensive move, every combination, looking for evidence that something has changed. Every successful adjustment will spark headlines. Every familiar habit will trigger fresh debates. That's the reality of being one of boxing's biggest stars. Then comes the biggest question of all. Who actually steps into the opposite corner? Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Ryan Garcia again? Or does another surprise contender suddenly emerge while everyone else argues online? Boxing has a funny habit of changing directions when people least expect it. The fight everyone assumes is next sometimes disappears overnight, while another blockbuster suddenly appears out of nowhere. That's why fans have learned not to celebrate until the contracts are signed. But even with all the uncertainty, one fact remains impossible to ignore. Tank Davis continues dominating the conversation without even throwing a punch. Coaching rumors, dream matchups, pound-for-pound debates, promotional discussions, his name keeps resurfacing no matter where the conversation starts. That's influence. That's star power. And perhaps that's exactly why every major player seems interested in seeing what happens next. So maybe the real headline isn't whether Tank trained with a different coach. Maybe the real story is that one decision, whether temporary or long-term, has reminded everyone how quickly the entire lightweight division shifts whenever Gervonta Davis makes a move. Every interview suddenly matters. Every training clip gets analyzed frame by frame. Every public comment becomes another clue in a puzzle fans desperately want to solve. And maybe that's the biggest twist of all. While everyone online is trying to figure out who has the advantage, who changed what, and what the next fight should be, Tank himself has remained relatively quiet, allowing everyone else to keep guessing. Whether that's intentional or simply part of his personality, it has only made the mystery grow larger. So here's the question that could change everything. Are fans witnessing the beginning of the most dangerous version of Gervonta Davis yet? Or has the internet simply turned routine training decisions into boxing's biggest talking point? One thing is certain, the next time Tank walks to the ring, every eye will be searching for answers, and the moment that opening bell rings, months of speculation will finally collide with reality. Until then, the debate isn't slowing down anytime soon.